Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I have some sad news to report. It's been on all today, but I wanted to give my thoughts about it. Bruno Sammartino, the living legend, today has passed away. But he will still forever be a legend. Truly one of the good guys of professional wrestling. You know, obviously way before my time. But this guy was, he was truly a legend. Like, I mean, this guy was, he was champion longer than anybody will ever be in the WWE. Let's face it. No one will be champion that long, especially in this day and age. But the way he carried himself, and he was a clean cut guy, legitimately had real muscles, not fake, steroid type muscles. I'm just saying this right now because he officially passed away today. But I'm telling you right now, WWE better for Raw and SmackDown next week. They had better have a tribute like they did for Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes, because this guy, like, if you want to talk about anyone who helped this business, the WWE, it's Bruno. Bruno was really their first, superstar, essentially, or wrestler. It's what it really is. But he was their first guy. He beat Buddy Rogers in a minute. Buddy Rogers was the first WWE champion, or at the time it was WWF champion. But he beat him in a minute. There's a little controversy on how that all went down. I don't want to get into that because it's about Bruno. But Bruno won it, and he then went on to have it for like 7 years. I think his second title run was 6, something like that. It was something around there because he had 2 title runs. One was for 2008, 03. He had it from 63 to 71, so that would have been about 7 years. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, been in about 7, 8 years. And then his second reign wasn't as long, but it was 1,237 days, which isn't a record in itself because no one is gonna pass that. For the championship, but the guy was clean cut. I'm glad he was able to go in the Hall of Fame. Back in 2013, he was able to do his induction speech after having like a 20-year plus year of being on bad terms with the company, because he didn't like what Vince was doing with all the wrestlers that were taking drugs and stuff like that, and the direction that the business was going in at that point. He didn't like that, how it changed from his era. And he was inducted in 2013. The Hall of Fame for WrestleMania 29 was in Madison Square Garden, despite the WrestleMania itself being in MetLife. And it's kind of sad, too, because even more because next year's WrestleMania is going to be in MetLife again. So he won't be there for that. I know they've been using him a lot for like the WWE Network, for a lot of network shows and stuff like that they do. So it's kind of a shame, Bruno, I mean, for 82, he passed away, by the way, at the age of 82, but he looked in really good shape for 82. It's kind of a shame, that this came to be. He was a living legend. Like I said, one of the true good guys of the sport. And it's kind of sad. Like I said, I really hope that WWE does this right and gives him a proper tribute because, I mean, this guy deserves it, okay? But now I'm kind of getting a little worried because Bobby Heenan didn't get one, and Bobby Heenan, I think, was on the same caliber as Dusty Rhodes and freaking Roddy Piper were. Definitely the greatest manager out there. And he didn't really get that type of tribute. He didn't get, like, the 10 bells. You know, he just kind of got, like, the little banner at the beginning and then, you know, kind of a memorial video package, and that was it. You know, I felt Bobby deserved more than that. I felt he should have gotten like something Dusty and Roddy Piper got. And if those two get that, Bruno's got to get something like this. Because Bruno, I mean, this guy, like I said, he was like the original superstar of the WWE when it was the WWF. Like, you know, that was right around the time their company was just, like, founded. This was when Vince Sr. was the boss, not Vince Jr., a.k.a. Vince McMahon, that you know today. Like, I mean, this guy was, you know, a truly amazing story, too, before he even became a wrestler. He was, you know, an Italian immigrant, and, you know, there was a lot of stuff when he was a kid with World War II. I think a couple of his relatives died. Truly one of the, you know, great American stories, for sure. And he was someone that a lot of people liked back in that generation. Very well, much over. Sold out Madison Square Garden every time he was there. So that's ultimate draw power right there. Madison Square Garden was where they originally were. That's where the WWF territory was. And that's where a lot of their stuff were before they went national. If you ever, if WWE rarely goes to Madison Square Garden these days now, but when they do, they make it a big deal. Like, they really do. Because, you know, that was where they started, essentially, was in Madison Square Garden. So they hold that always into a big regard when they make it a big deal when they go there. You know, because they're probably never going to have a WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden anymore, which is bullshit in my opinion. But they'll never go to Madison Square Garden again. They'll just go to MetLife at this point now. It's kind of even more weird that they go to MetLife on WrestleManias that aren't like, you know, 10, because WrestleMania 30 was in New Orleans instead of like in New York, where all the, you know, the anniversary ones are supposed to be at. You know, 1 was in the Garden, 2 was in the 1 was in the Garden, 10 was in the Garden, and then 20 was in the Garden, and then 30 was in New Orleans. You know. But getting back to Bruno, you know, just you know, great dude. Never got to meet him, unfortunately. Would have been cool meeting the guy. He seems like a really cool dude. Knows what he's talking about. Very well educated, it seems like. You know, because he was a local strongman before he was a pro wrestler, so he seemed to know a lot about the stuff. You know, I've seen a lot of interviews and a lot of different stuff on YouTube that he used to do. He seemed like a really good guy, and, you know, he had a lot of principles for stuff that he did. He left Vince McMahon Jr. because of the direction and because he didn't like how the drugs were coming in like that. He didn't like that in the sport. Like I said, record never will be broken for the WWE Championship run. He had it for like 7 years, 2 title runs. I mean, that's just amazing right there. Like I said, I hope for next week's Raw and SmackDown, because they can't do it because SmackDown. We can't do it this week because SmackDown ended last night. Obviously, he passed away this morning. So, I'm hoping for Raw and SmackDown they give him a Roddy Piper / Dusty Rhodes tribute, because he deserves it way more than those two do, and they got it. This guy was the guy that made their company a huge hit in the 60s and the 70s. And, that, and he was the centerpiece around everything, the first superstar of that company, essentially, of the WWE, essentially. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Rest in peace to the living legend, Bruno Sammartino. Fortunately, he's just a legend now because he's not alive anymore. But still, I still want to say it one last time. The living legend, Bruno Sammartino. Rest in peace. And if you guys are watching this, if you were a person that grew up watching him, which probably isn't possible. I mean, I'm sure there aren't that many that were around for that era, but if there are that are watching this, give me your favorite moment of Bruno Sammartino, or if you just met him, and all that stuff. Let me know what you guys. Let me know about all that stuff. Your favorite moments too. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. Rest in peace one last time to the living legend Bruno Sammartino, and I'm out of here. Peace.